thanks, Stephen, for doing this kind of part two of this kind of series we're doing based on some of the concepts coming from Peter Thiel's Zero to One. We heard him speak a while back ago at USC where we were doing a lot of initial things, but Stephen's been doing a great job on internally helping us this kind of culture of learning, and we want to give you guys kind of sneak peek on some of the white paper and some of the ideas that he had based on the book. So I'll hand over to you.
Awesome. So yeah, for those of you tuning in, I'm not sure if you guys watched the first session. If you haven't, check it out. So we have a culture of learning here at Fokcus, not only for ourselves but also for our community, right? The startups, the cohorts in our ecosystem, and so a lot of our founding team will write white papers or share our knowledge internally. And so we wanted to make some of that forward facing for you guys, right? For everyone that is able to view our content. And so in our last video, we were talking about defining principles of success, and how a lot of big time entrepreneurs have done that already. And we wanted to touch on some central themes that exist, most notably in Peter Thiel's book, Zero to One. He asked 7 questions that he thinks every business must answer. And these questions, there's some central themes behind them that we think are very important for startups to really think about their own answers to these questions. And so this series was just to go through some of those questions, bring those ideas up, and really start this talking point for all the startups and entrepreneurs out there. So the second question we're going to go through today is called the timing question. So is now the right time to start your particular business? And this is a really important one. Probably a good preface to this is, so there's a quote from a Roman philosopher called Seneca that he's quoted at once saying, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So think about that for a second. So it's almost a definition of creating your own luck, right? If your preparation can meet the right opportunity, it's an amazing experience. So thousands of years later, after that, quote is happened to have been said, this idea of timing, right, is still rings truer than ever. And it's very important in the startup space. Convincing yourself of your impending success is one thing, right? But executing on that conviction is something else entirely. And this has happened numerous times in history. We talk about the ups and downs, and in history, things from like the dot-com bubble, the clean tech bubble, real estate bubble. Just talking about some things that everyone has probably heard of, right? But in short, if you can recognize an opportunity where it exists, that's where the biggest opportunity lies. And being able to recognize timing and execute against that opportunity, you can create great things. And this is essentially the gist of when preparation meets opportunity. That's when luck is created, right? That's when something special happens.
Now, I know, like in this kind of current environment, dealing with we're having tons of things that's going on, but one being COVID and the pandemic. Have you seen any certain trends on people taking advantage of this, or how this timing has helped certain groups?
Yeah. So when you talk about this timing question, is the right time to start your business? I mean, it's a very important question to ask, and some great examples of this are. There's times in history, especially in the last 10 or 20 years, where we have things like the real estate crash, 2008, right, 2009. You have everything we've happened with the pandemic, over the last year, right? And there's a reason that more businesses are started during bear markets or during recessions than in bull markets. And it's because when something big like that happens, you have opportunities staring you in the face, right?
Definitely.
It's just, are you competent enough to recognize that opportunity and capitalize on it, right? When for instance, when this pandemic started, there's a lot of, I guess, opportunities that basically were sitting in people's laps. That, okay, cool, I have this problem that exists, let's find a solution to it. I don't have to go, find this problem that exists, or have it, be brought on by my own experience and knowledge. It's sitting right in front of me. And so you have a lot of these companies, everything that happened with companies related to work from home, um, everything related from uh, you know everything beyond that, from getting groceries, things like Instacart, right? Or
Right.
your local grocer, being able to package your groceries for you. All you have to do is pick it up. Contactless delivery. You had a huge spike in um, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all these services. But even opportunities like, so say you were, to give you an example, say you were a real estate investor and you owned a bunch of apartment buildings. And so you dealt with, renting those out, and the vacancy and everything related to being an apartment complex owner. If you would have had, let's say, virtual tours set up prior to this pandemic starting, or towards the beginning of it, oh, you would have found a crazy amount of success, right? Because you
Definitely.
just provided a problem solution for somebody, right? That value proposition that you had is amazing for the problem that existed, right? That was put in your lap. So um, so that's a good way to look at the timing question. I mean, timing, it, of course, goes beyond recessions and all that stuff. Those are just great examples.
Yeah.
But the real question is, just ask yourself: is right now the right time to start your business? Why or why not? And if you
Yeah.
can provide a great answer for that, and an answer that's going to ring true, over the long term, as your business evolves and as your solution set evolves, your value proposition evolves, then I think you're going to find really great sustained success over the long term. What do you think, Curling?
No, I think that's great. One thing I was thinking about when we were talking about this is something we were talking about in our meeting about how entrepreneurs are problem solvers. So when you have these kind of big problems like the pandemic or different bear markets, that it is a great opportunity for someone to solve some problems in that really unique environment. So I know what we always are always trying to look at is like, what is this problem and how do we solve it versus having some sort of solution and then try to solve some sort of problem, right? So I think some of your timing questions are like, it's like, do you see something currently in the market that you can solve that problem, right? That would be one good way for an entrepreneur to kind of think about that.
Yeah, and timing is one of those things where if you can have a good answer to it, if it's something that you can say, oh, hey, the timing's right for this,
Yeah,
and you can justify it, then it heightens your level of excitement, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? Because
exactly.
entrepreneurs are problem solvers, like you said, and it's like, ooh, there's this opportunity that exists. I can make an impact. There's something here, and then ultimately it's just up to you. Okay, you know, Curling, can you execute this, right?
Exactly. And then, like you said, be prepared, right? Have the team, have mentors, all those people to help you and guide you in that process.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Stephen, on this?
Yeah, so that was question number two. Like Curly mentioned earlier, this is going to be a series, so we're going to go through all 7 questions, putting them in video format for you guys, so that you guys can digest maybe some examples, what the question is, and really think about it in terms of your own situation and business, right? But just as some housekeeping, if you have a chance, feel free to give us a like, leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We want this to be a back and forth conversation. We want to learn from you as much as you might want to learn from us. So if
Definitely.
you have a chance to leave a comment, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and feel free to do so. Every interaction we get from videos like this helps push it out to more people. So that interaction that you leave might push this video on timing out to somebody who really needs to hear this message and could really help them out quite a bit. So if you have a chance to do so, feel free to do so. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Stephen.